Hello and welcome back for the love of baby boomers. I'm your host, Dolores Clivert, and we're here with Patricia, also known as Anu, talking about protection of ourselves, and she just finished talking about protection of her loved ones as far as pets. So we will continue. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you so much. These are things I love to educate people on, because a lot of times, ladies, people want to run away from things that's good for them, but it's like not only just good for you, but that's necessary. You think about it. I mean, you have movie stars who put life insurance or insurance on their body parts.
Yeah, because if you use something and it's making you money.
Right. Exactly. But what I want you to think about is assets, and a lot of times we forget that we are an asset. Mm-hmm. Even the word says, the birds are out there flying, right?
Well, Anu, I'd like you to define, for those who are not quite sure, what is an asset?
Oh, great question, Miss Dolores. An asset is, to me, anything that's worthy of value, right? You think about a human life. What out there is greater than the value of a human life? Right? Even though, like I said, and you'll hear me say reference to the word a lot, because I'm grateful. As a Christian woman, I'm grateful for everything I have. Mm-hmm. So you think about it, God took the time to create us. Mm-hmm. But a lot of times, think about how we devalue ourselves, either the food we eat.
Oh, right? Yes. Oh, yes. The food that we should not eat.
I see Miss Michelle, y'all should see it. She's got watermelon.
Yes, and that is something we should eat.
Yes.
And it looks like that watermelon has black seeds in it.
Oh, Lord, y'all.
Oh, it does. Are you sharing?
You gotta. You see what I mean? Value.
I got a dog if you want.
Oh Lord,
we talking about watermelon right now.
Yes, y'all. She opening it up, but you think about it, Miss Dolores, your life, and maybe people don't take the time out to think about themselves as valuable. But when you sit down and think about all these things you do, right? Mm-hmm. You get up in the morning, you brush your teeth, you invest in your hair, what you eat, what you drink, or maybe not, And then why is it when somebody passes away, Miss Michelle, right? They pass away and then it's all of a sudden, if I can. But you don't appreciate. So when you think about an asset, think about it. You have cars. Mm-hmm. You have your phone. I think nowadays the cell phone is like.
I think the cell phone is an asset. And if you just sit down and look at people watch. Everybody got a phone in their hand
at the dinner table. Everybody, instead of talking, So the human life is an asset. It really is an asset. And what I want you all to know is that is the number one asset. When you think about your investments, you go ahead and say, okay, I want to protect and invest in my home, my car, my children, my pets. Mm-hmm. But what about you? Now, you're the person, right, who's doing all this investing and protecting. But if you're not protected and something happens to you, then
everything could fall apart.
Exactly. So for those of you who've taken an airplane ride, what do they always say? Take the mask and put it on yourself first.
That's right.
Before you start trying to save everybody else.
That's right.
Because if you're well protected and grounded, then you can save more lives.
Then you can move around and do what you need to do.
Right. Not a food for thought.
Yes, it is.
They're sitting here with a watermelon.
I don't want them to hear me eating this watermelon.
Oh, my God. It looks so good. So today, I just really want to, hit a nerve and have you really think and say, okay, I am an extraordinary person, but how much value have I put on myself? And life insurance is not a bad word. That's something that can save your life. But are you educated about it enough, right? So speaking of the boomers, maybe you could answer some things for me growing up. When you think about insurance, it was just when you die, right? Mm-hmm. But it's not. It's not. I have a very good friend of mine, Miss Anita, who she loves a grandbaby. And she's like, I want my grandbaby to know how much he means to me. Even me, I just became a new grandmother, and I love my son, his wife, great.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Oh, my God. My little butterball. Okay, I'll veer off. But you think about that and say, but what I can say about the boomers, y'all had a right set of mind. You may not have been educated on matters of finances and life insurance, but you have good enough sense to say, I want to leave a legacy, for my children's children. Mm-hmm. So, and that's what I love to educate people about. It's a group of us out there, my company, my co-laborers, crusaders. We are on a crusade, and especially to help out the boomers. Because did y'all know you guys are living the longest?
Okay, Michelle, what's all that ringing about?
Watermelon.
Engineer.
Right. No, they're calling in for Mr. Beasley. Pleading for Mr. Beasley.
Yeah, little Yorkie calling in saying, hey, you left me at home by myself.
I'm going to fire the engineer.
But let's get back.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. As I was saying, what about when you want to do everything right for your children's children, but you weren't taught? It really breaks my heart when I walk into a plethora of stores. You think about Walmart, which is the biggest one, Starbucks, Target, Wawa's, anywhere nowadays, you see a lot of boomers beyond their ages working.
Oh, yes. People going back to work or never leaving the work area.
Right. But that's not you, Miss Dolores, because I see you just living your life.
I am, honey. I am. And I'm doing this because it's keeping me young and meeting people and doing things.
Networking.
I'm doing it because I want to.
Right.
It's a big difference.
Right. Mm-hmm. It's different than you having to. Mm-hmm. So really what I want to impress upon you is, how much do you know about life insurance? I wear a shirt that says you need life insurance or you need insurance. I'm your gal. Right?
It says need insurance in red and white.
I'm your gal.
I'm your gal.
Because I didn't know these things. Coming here as a refugee, America really is a land of opportunity. But my mom came, I would say probably in her 40s. And I watched her work hard. And she's got these 4 brown babies, right? And all she told me was go to school, get an education, get a good job. But never really about, money matters. Right. And don't get into debt.
Things like life skills.
Right. Mm-hmm. But you think about that, as I mentioned earlier, everywhere you turn around, people insure their cars, they insure their cell phones, their body parts. But what about just even leaving a legacy? Mm-hmm. So, and that's what I want to impress upon everyone, but also baby boomers. Absolutely. I mean, you guys are living longer. Mm-hmm. So you have to think about it. What happens if you get too sick?
Well, Anu, there's something I recall growing up, as an adult, living life. Mm-hmm. And one thing that I've experienced is life goes up and down financially. So you have the good times, the bad times. And there were some bad times in my adult growing. And I would... certain things I would not pay for, like the cable bill. I would not pay for that during a bad financial time. Mm-hmm. Other things as well. But there were a couple of times I actually let my insurance go.
Wow.
Yeah, because it was like really had to really streamline, or it wasn't
Right.
important at the time.
Right.
That $100 or whatever it was that I needed to pay, I really needed to pay my electric bill because I needed some electric.
Right.
You know, so I know there are a lot of boomers now who have been through that. And so
Absolutely.
because of that, at this stage of our game, some boomers don't have insurance,
Right.
or not the type of assurance that they need or want.
Right.
Okay?
And I'm glad you brought up that point, Ms. Dolores. That's why I said us. You know, it's a group of us crusaders, licensed financial professionals that take the time out to educate you. Because you think about when you first got an insurance policy, why did you do that?
Because I was told that I should. And I was
Right.
really going on that type of thing.
Right. But did somebody sit down with you and show you the value of it, what it can do for you?
It actually, the insurance person, and maybe you talked too long, and maybe I understood or whatever, but you know, yeah, it was that's the way it was.
Wow. Well, I'm glad you have me on today because this is something that's near and dear to my heart, especially as a registered nurse. Because right now what I'm seeing is a lot of those boomers who invested their homes, their life savings, and it only takes one incident to wipe you out. Right?
Yeah.
Like you said, that electric bill due. So what we love to do is educate you and say, look, let's look at your finances overall. So that way you can keep something that matters. You can invest in yourself. You can properly protect yourself. So so if you get too sick or if you die too soon, you're not leaving your family with a liability.
Right.
You know, you think about that. And I'm so grateful that when we met and talked, right, you decided to reinvest yourself. Because I said, Ms. Dolores, you know, you love your family, and you're a woman who is just boss. You know, you take care of yourself. If you don't have stuff like that, you get put in a little box. And then again, your life gets devalued. So if you're single, right. And then you can't control what your kids do either.
Yeah.
So I love educating boomers and saying, look, if nobody else is going to look out for you, look out for yourself. And definitely a way to do that is by having proper life insurance for yourself.
So, okay, so to continue with life assurance, we have like 2.5 minutes here. So give us an introduction before we go to close out this segment.
Okay.
Okay.
So basically, I would say reach out to me. Okay. My cell phone number. Can I say that?
Oh, yes. And
Yep.
I'm going to give you a chance to say it again in the next segment. Go ahead.
Absolutely. It's 757-715-3693. Anyu. Call me Anyu.
Anyu.
It doesn't cost anything, Miss Dolores, Miss Michelle. It doesn't. It doesn't cost anything. I sit down with you. Like I said, it's a crusaders of us. Sit down with you, go over what is important to you. We ask you things like what matters most to you. You know, and then figure out what type of life insurance is best for you. And also for your kids. Maybe you want to do something for your grandchildren. How about protecting your home? Like I said, you have assets. So life insurance is not only for when you die, but what happens if you get too sick. What about living so long? Ms. Dolores, you look amazing. You're here going to the gym. We're eating watermelon.
Sookie. Make me smile.
So you think about it. Do you want to outlive your money, or would you rather have your money outlive you? And that's what
I
life
would like
insurance
to
is
have
about.
my money outlive me
Yes.
and my son and my grandkids have some wealth passed on so that they could be living stronger, a little stronger than me.
Absolutely.
And
Legacy.
with that on you, we have about a minute left. I like to say